So for the ones who want to watch it later, the video will be available on the channel, Talk and Talk. And yeah, we can finally start the conversation. Nachi, today we are going to talk about the process of coming out to people, and the video is just about, how couples handle it. And let's finally start the questions. Are you able to see, guys, the questions on the chat? Is everything
Yes.
okay? Okay, fine. So question number one, should every person who's not heterosexual come out to their family and friends? What do you think, João Pedro?
This is a very hard question because we have no idea of how huge can this kind of familiar situation become. I have some friends that had a very, very, very difficult situation with their family, and I think that the the easiest exit for this is being independent, is investing on your career, is having your own money to take your own decisions if everything goes wrong. Of course, it depends on your family and on your friends, but I think that it's safer. It's sad, very sad, but it's safer if you like have a plan B if your family overreact or something like this happen.
Yeah, that was a great answer. What about you, Nati? Do you have something to add?
Yeah, I I think for me, I think it's not necessary the person said this for the family or friends because it's something very private of each person. But I don't know why society wants the people said. I think okay, some people person think it's important to get a visibility, but I think if the person don't think it's necessary, the person shouldn't say for anyone. Just live their life.
Yeah, I agree with you. Oh, and João Pedro said one really interesting thing about having a plan B, because not every family, not everyone accept, uh, you know, all sexualities, all sexual orientations, for example. So you might end up like without a place to live, without all the things that you had in the past, just because of your sexual orientation. So it's really important when you have some support, or when you already work, or when you have somebody who will, I don't know, help you in case of your parents want you out of their home. So that was really good. But at the same time, I feel that coming out can be really great in the sense of not giving explanations anymore. Because, everyone suppose you're going to be, if you're a man, you're going to be with a girl in the future. And if you're a girl, you are going to marry a man. And when you say it louder for everyone, they just stop the jokes. They just stop to say like, "Oh, when you're going to bring the girlfriend," or something like that. I have experience with that. That's because I'm talking about it. But I don't think they should, uh, for their own security, and also for because it's private, like Nachi said before. It's not anybody' business to know about your, sexual orientation. So let's go to question number two. It's a really tricky one. Is a gaydar worthy? What do you think about the act of trying to find out the sexual orientation of somebody? Nati, do you know what gaydar means, right?
Yeah, mine
Okay.
is good. I always know, but it's not of my business. I just know and keep the information with me. If the person said something, okay. If they don't want to say, okay, too. Because actually, I think it's very strange when someone come and said, "Oh, I'm gay," "Oh, I'm a lesbian." Once this happened with me, a friend talked to me and said, "I want to say something." Okay, say it then. I'm gay. Okay, and how this is about me? Good luck, live your life. We continue friends.
I mean, but usually on the internet, people really, I don't know, concerned about the sexuality of the famous people and everyone, and they try to see like the signals. Oh, this if the person do this, then it means they may
If the
be
man
gay.
dance,
Yeah,
if the man
exactly.
dance, people always think he's gay.
Yeah, it's really complicated. What do you think about this question, João Pedro?
Oh, I have the worst radar ever. I already have been very shocked with people's sexuality because they were like very close people for me, and then I just had no idea. So just like Nachi, this is not a very relevant information for me, but like I think oh, I'm that bad on guessing those things, but in the end, I don't. It's just something that I don't stop my time and try to guess in any way. Sometimes the information just comes to me, like there it come. Like a friend of mine was completely not in love with one of my best friends, and then it was like a completely mess, and I didn't guess any in any way, but I helped him, and everything went okay in the future. But it's like something that okay, I I won't try to guess, and even if I try to guess, I will miss. So I just don't. I just won't.
Yeah, yeah. About me, my gaydar is really controversial sometimes. Yeah, it works, but sometimes I don't know. My mind thinks that everyone at certain point would, stay with, or I don't know, got this attraction for someone of the same gender. I think everyone would do this one time. I don't know why, but uh, I just, for me, it's a personal thing. I like to do it, but for me, like when I see somebody and I find this person really, I don't know, attractive, I try to think of, oh, what about their sexuality? Would they like me? Would they like my friend? And for me, it's important to know my friend's sexuality because, we talked about relationships. So I just want to know if they're like guys, girls, both, because I want them to feel comfortable with me. So with people around me, it's important to me to know. But about the others, I really don't care if they like man or woman. And yeah, that's it. Um, so question number three. What kinds of things might a person who is lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender go through when coming out? So, João Pedro, can you share your
Mhm.
thoughts?
I don't know if I get the question, but I think that is the things that I said on the first question, like uh, having a plan B, like imagine the scenario of people overreacting and be prepared because this is a very sensitive question. So you have to be prepared. You have to be. Uh, it's better if you have like support from someone or outside. Like you say, no, today I'm going to tell this to my parents, and I don't know how they would react. I would appreciate if you can support me if something goes wrong. And I think that it's more about being careful with those things.
Yeah, yeah. You said one really interesting thing about imagining the scenarios of the solution or how the situation would be after you tell you're gay
Mhm.
or you're bisexual. And yeah, I think all the time they just overthinking, like, oh, would they like me still? Would they accept me? I would, I don't know, lost my job. I would, I just, they think about everything, and
Mm.
it's really complicated. So, Nachi,
Uh, Unfortunately, a lot of prejudice and dangerous things sometimes because some people are very bad with gays and lesbians. And I think for transgender, if they are travestis and this person, yeah, is worst because when you are gay but you look like a man, you can pretend if you want in, I don't know, in your work or your family. But when you are transgender, it's difficult. You pretend because you are try. You it's different. And a few years ago, I saw a news that said the expectation of life, I don't know if the expression, but for transgender is 37 years. It's too young. They die just because they are who they are, and it is enough to die. So I think it's very sad.
yeah, yeah, and they are killed all the time, you know. I think about the statistics, Brazil is the country who most killed transgender people, if I'm not mistaken. So it's really sad when you look at the news. And yeah, some men, some women, they can like perform sexuality, perform masculinity or femininity, and they can pretend they are something. But then transgender, there's a whole process of transitioning, the process of, you know, getting changed. And some of them don't want to. They want to have a long hair and a beard, and they want to be just like them, you know, just like how they feel cool with with themselves. So yeah, it's really complicated. And I think one third thing about it, it's getting a lot of trauma. Not just had one thing about prejudice, and João Pedro about overthinking, and I think trauma is really an important subject in case of coming out because some of them don't experience acceptance. They just, you know, feel sad and experience bad things. So yeah, question number four. How can you respond to people who object to LGBT people for religious reasons? How so, Nachi?
It's difficult. Someone said something for LGBTQ people in front of me because of religion, because everyone that know me know that I'm not a quiet person. If the person said something that I don't agree, I will argue with the person. So it's very difficult. Someone say something in front of me. I have some uh, relatives that they are religious people, but when I'm in the room, they stop to talking.
Yeah, that's great. You just they know you're going to, I don't know, eat them alive because I mean, personally for me, I think there's no reason to object them or to make them feel worse or wrong just because they're LGBTQIA plus. Um, because religion is really personal and it's not based in scientific facts. So it's just a way to live your life, and you choose to believe in God and you choose to follow some rules, or it can be the Bible, it can be, I don't know, another book from another religion because we have many religions in the world. But I feel that, I don't know, they're showing their own prejudice, not God's, because I mean, it's really, I just don't understand because people don't know what God thinks in reality because, you know, God didn't write it down. God didn't say anything as talking about Christians. They just say it, and I just don't understand why. And there's no way to talk with those people. Do you
Yeah,
want to say something?
but I think it's because my sister is I don't know how it's Protestant, I think. They believe the person who wrote the Bible was listen God. So God somehow said that thing. So they said it's not okay, be gay. They said not, but in the Bible has a lot of things that is not okay, but people, I don't know why, just take care about the LGBTQ people. The other things they pretend they are not know that God doesn't like.
Yeah, yeah. So, João Pedro, how can you respond to this situation? Do you agree or do you disagree?
I disagree, but I am a person who avoids discussion until the last second. So I don't know. There are some friend of mine that uh, is being bothered by someone talking about religious things, and in that way, we just try to avoid and just like I'm not going to change the world arguing with this person. Probably won't change his mind. So I think that there are greater ways to change a uh, whole part of the society's way to think. For example, with the great media, with novels, with discussions, like all those things have huge proportions, and like me arguing with one person that is saying like this probably won't change anything. Probably will just uh, make everyone tired. So I try to avoid the most that I can. Sometimes it's not possible. Then you have to go on and like justify and say the limits and go away. But I think the key is like go away and be hopeful of a better world in the future.
Yeah. I try to avoid discussions too because I'm not patient with this. I just say fuck you and leave me. You
Yeah.
don't get to choose my life, the things that I like, the things that I dislike. And yeah, but sometimes when it's about a friend who's suffering from this, it's really complicated to be quiet. But yeah, it happens. So question number five. Let's suppose you're a heterosexual person. If you come out today, would you have the support of your family and your friends? In my case of my friends, yeah, totally. I like nowadays, I'm not friends with homophobic people. I don't let it happen. Most of my friends are gay or bisexual. And yeah, I like this. I don't like people who are hetero at all. But it happens like
You are
sometimes.
heterophobic.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a reality. I just can be really, really friends with them. Just a couple of them. It has to be really specific situations, but nowadays, yeah, they would support me. But my family, I think, because guys, I'm gay, so I've already lived this, and I think I would have the support of my mother, probably. And about the rest of them, I just not sure. But what about you guys? You first, João Pedro.
I think my friends definitely because they are not that way, and I I'm straight, and I have a lot of friends that passed a lot of difficult situations with their family, and I was the one who was helping and talking with like other friends to avoid situations with their parents. And I also worked in a company here in Salvador. It was a startup with a huge LGBT QI plus community. So I had a lot of contact with people with a lot of different sexualities. Most of them are still my friends nowadays. So I think that friends would definitely not be a problem, but family, when to be sure, or to be honest, I have no idea because most of my family, the huge part of my family are not that close to me. So I just don't have any examples, don't have any ideas or discussions. So for me, it's very difficult to predict. But I think that in my close family, it won't be a problem at all, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just waiting for some cousin or some, I don't know, everybody to say they're gay first because I don't want to be the first in my entire family. Just my mom, my dad, my sister, and my stepbrother knows. So yeah, I live with them most of the time, so I don't have to tell anybody else. But I'm waiting to somebody say hello. I'm just like you, or I don't know. I don't want to be the first. Uh, because some part of my family they are just they think I am like a saint. I am a really quiet guy, and I am wait to finish university to look after girls. And yeah, I will let them think about it, and it don't bothers me at all because I don't care about them. Um, but I'm waiting to somebody to say, yeah, I am, this. So what about you, Nati?
I think for me it wasn't be a problem because most of my friends are gay or bisexual, so it's normal for them. My family, I think they already think I am lesbian, so if I said something like that for them was okay. That's it. I thought, and I don't care about what they think. So, and they know that I don't care. So I think it's not a problem.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. So question number six asks, can you tell if someone is gay or lesbian just by how they look? We do have stereotypes, and that a lot of people fit into the stereotypes, like having um a sugar looking. I don't know how to translate this, but um olhar açucarado for the man, it means, they like men too. And then the lesbian, when they look just like I don't know the word, a driver or a caminhoneira, it means they're lesbian. But I don't think at all it should be a rule because like João Pedro said in the beginning of the chat, sometimes I think that a person actually that fits into what we imagine about being female or being male, when they come out, we're really surprised because they didn't we didn't get the signals of LGBTQIA that we usually look for. So what do you think about this question, Ach? Do you think every time it's possible to, I don't know, predict?
I don't think every time, but I think sometimes it's they can't pretend. So about the girls, I don't know why I have some kind of uniform. At least here in Fortaleza has a kind of clothes that the women's using. So if you say a girl with kind of clothes, you can think he was a lesbian. It probably she will be. And the same for men. Men here is, I don't know how to say English, but it's afeminados. Here is a lot. Most of my friends are like this. So it's common sometimes that you have some kind of personality. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. The problem can be sometimes that if we took this as a rule, sometimes when a straight person has this kind of feminine vibes, we think that they are gay. They're pretending to be, straight just because they seems like a guy who's gay, just in terms of personality, in terms of how they show themselves. And yeah, we have some problems related to it, but usually I think it's possible to identify and to say a sexual orientation of a person just by the way they look. João Pedro, what about you? Do you have a different opinion?
As I said, I have a huge problem with this skill. So I'm not a good person to say this just looking like someone looks. Of course, there are people that uh, it's kind of 100% sure that he is or she is because the way she looks, it's very characteristic. So uh, he or she is like representing a whole community. So it's very proud of showing that yes, I am. It's exactly what you guys are looking, and but in some cases it is very difficult. I think that with women, for me, is harder because like usually how they call it, if they are not if they keep like the femininity, so it's very difficult to say. But if it's like this family, it's very easy, but not always.
Yeah, yeah. Fine. So let's go to the question number 7. Does being around LGBT people or learning about them have a negative impact on children? This is a really, I don't know, constant argument that people who don't support the community say, like, what about the children? They're going to learn bad things or they're going to be gay just because of the pride movement or just because they're seeing a couple, a homo couple. Do you agree with this guy? Starting by you, João Pedro. Do you think it's a rule? It's a problem for children?
I think that okay, I have absolutely no idea about children education, and I never heard any like argument of specialists or people saying. But I think that may have an adequate age to say like 7, 8, 9 years that the children have a better cognition that can recognize what it's definitely happened and what is the consequences of that this community suffers. But I don't know like exactly, but I think that is important, but I just don't know how and which age and how to deal with this because I don't know anything about children education.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for the answer. Now you, Nati. What's your opinion?
Mm, I don't have kids, but I don't believe it. This is a problem for kids because I have nephew and a niece, and my nephew don't care about the sexuality of the people because he's a kid. He just want to play games and talk with the friends. When he has contact with someone that's gay, because her mother is teacher dance, she teach ballet. So the guys that have class with her, most of them are gay, and my nephew, it's well, they don't care. They talk with the person and play, and for them it's just another person. It's normal as every other person. So I think this thing that
Yes.
oh they are say a couple of gay and the kid will be gay too doesn't make sense because gays are raised by straight couples and they are not straight. So I think this don't interfere.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you, Nach. I think it's not a problem, especially because I think in my case it's important to introduce to them what does that means. Like, oh, it's possible to be with a man too, or be with a girl, or be with both. I think it's important to tell by the age that they ask, because some kids, like since they're really, really, I don't know, little, they ask and they see and they just, want to know the world. And that doesn't mean they're going to talk about it all the time. It can be just one time. And you can just say one time, like, oh, there's gay, there's bi, there's transgender. And that's totally fine. And I don't think that's a negative impact. I wish people had said me that, like, oh, it's, you can be like this. But unfortunately, they didn't. I just figured it out on my own. Um, but I just don't understand why people use children to, I don't know, interfere in their community's problems. So question number 8, it's about the bad side of some kids, because in reality, we see at school and we can check the news, like many kids are bullier, many kids understand what does that mean, and many kids, they use it as a bad thing. And the question is, why do kids always use the term gay to put someone down? um not just the kids, but sometimes we, like adults, we use it like, oh, you're gay, or don't be gay, or I don't know, you're too gay, or they just use it as an insult, when in reality it just means, I don't know, you like men or you like woman. Here in Brazil we use gay just for men, but in English, for example, gay can be a lesbian too. But I just don't understand. I think they want to insult them, and the gay can be put into the place of the situation. But it's kind of, I don't know, hard to deal with that, because since they're kids, they're already homophobic, and how they're gonna be in the future, I'm just too afraid of kids. Can you start answering, Nazi?
I think for kids it's not from purpose because I think they don't understand in this way that is bad or no. I think they listen adults saying this, so they think it's okay to say when you are arguing with someone. But in my case, sometimes I use this word when I angry with someone, but I don't know. It's not because I think it's bad. It's I'm angry and I it's common use here. I think it's more because uh, become a common thing. It's not nice, but it's very common.
Yeah, yeah. Earlier, I just saw a video of a kid asking her mom, like, "Mom, are you gay?" And the mom said, "No." Well, why not? Because I thought you were gay. She likes the gay word, and she was like expecting her mom to be gay, because being gay for her means being nice, and she was really, really sad. And she said, like, oh, so I'm not gay too, because I think I like men. And she was really sad. She thought she was gay, but in some occasions they just don't know what that means, because children, they don't understand really attraction. They don't have this, I don't know, sexual desire, or this vision of the future, how the future is gonna be. And they just reproduce what
Yeah,
the adult people do. So it can be really complicated. So
I
what do you think
remember
about that? Yeah,
has
yeah. Keep
you
going.
watched Modern Family? Has a
No.
episode has a couple of like, two guys and he adopted a young girl from Vietnam, I think. And one episode he was saying all the time, I'm gay, I'm gay. And everyone is no, you are not gay, you have five. And after they asked her why she said all the time she was gay, and she said it's because their father was gay. So if someone is from Vietnam and the parent is from Vietnam, the person is Vietnamite. So if the parents are gay, the kid is gay too.
Yeah. Yeah, just like that. What about you, João Pedro?
I think that you already said the answer. Kids replies what adults says. So kids just don't have the filter to expose the worst things they learn. And sometimes kids are terrible and the parents are even worse. I think that's the reason.
Yeah, yeah. Perfect. So the last question asks, do you feel safe in light of your sexual orientation? This question can be really simple for some people. Like, do you feel, João Pedro, safe?
Man, I'm straight. I have almost 8 years relationship, so I never had this problem. But as I said, I had a lot of very close friends that had a lot of problems inside their house, and just it's just heartbreaking because uh, we know that it's very difficult. He can't do anything right now, but he's just running for its independence. So it's one of the reasons that I love talking about career. I love helping people to get jobs, to earn more money, because I know that this is the solution for some unavoidable problems. And this is one example. So I'm the kind of person that if you are interested and I can help you with anything about career, I will do everything that is on my way. And I know how this makes like the total difference. For example, my girlfriend had a teacher that he's gay, he's married, and he's like the chief doctor of oncology in the city that she studies. So anyone has the courage of say any word about its sexuality, and we know that influence and money and a good career and all independence, all those things are relevant and can give you a very high quality of life that it wasn't even supposed to not have, because it's not a good reason to don't have just because of sexuality, but this is the way things works happen.
Yeah, yeah. About me, I don't feel sometimes like here right now, I do feel safe because I'm far from my city and far from people who I know that they don't like it. But here it's totally fine. But I'm not independent still, so I need people to help me to live. I work, but it's not enough for me to pay everything. So I don't feel really safe. But talking about, I was really afraid when I was younger. I mean, I am still really young, but like some years ago, I was really afraid because I was like about working and how people would react to me. In my first work, actually in the second, third, my boss was bisexual. She was a girl, and I was just too happy. She talked with me about this, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so surprised by this," because I was really afraid. But a lot of people there were, LGBT too, so I felt really safe here. And in my actual work, I was afraid too because it's in the public sector, so people are more formal and it's about some political stuff. But then there are gay too in the way, so I don't need to be. Because I'm not the only one. I was afraid to be the only one, but I'm not. So I feel great with that too. But what about you, Nati?
I think you have problems with be the first, yeah.
Yeah.
Things. So for me, it's okay because unfortunately I'm straight. So for society, it's okay. I don't have problems with this. Oh, yeah, actually, I have problem because I have to go out with men. Then I don't know how can you can do this. Sorry, João Pedro, but men are the worst to go out.
Yeah, yeah, it's
I
right.
don't
I agree
disagree
with you.
because I've like I'm a very pessimistic person about relationships because I think that a good relationships it's the exception of the exception of the exception, and I don't know. It's for me it's a huge problem because I've already seen a lot of lives being destroyed because of bad relationships, bad decisions, and everything turns its own into a snowball. So by default, people are not good for a relationship until you prove the otherwise, because it's very sad some situations how they turn on in the future.
Yeah. And usually, toxic, bad relationships are related to men. Like we know women can be really
Mhm.
toxic, but men, they kill, they destroy their lives. Men, they do the worst part of being in a toxic relationship. And yeah, unfortunately, Nachi likes men. You're the one who's lucky, João
I
Pedro.
don't like. I have to go out with them.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
João Pedro is the luckiest
Mhm.
one because she likes girls, so he likes girls.
yeah.
So yeah, it's a really good thing to hear. So guys, we have to end the conversation, but I just want to say some things before it. First, I just sent for you the link of the feedback so you guys can enter it and say in what areas I can improve in the immersion. If you have any suggestions for future topics or even for TNT at all, you can just say it. And I want to say thank you all for coming today. That was a great topic to talk about. It was really, I don't know, quiet today. It was really slow. We didn't have any, I don't know, disturbing opinions or problems or, I mean, a homophobic person say, yeah, gay, let's kill the gays. There's nobody here like this. I was afraid. I am afraid sometimes
No
to
emotions.
to bring these topics because sometimes it happens. But thank you all for coming, and I'm really happy to. And I hope you, João Pedro, you can come back to the immersions. It was great to talk to you, man. Okay,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah, and thank you for coming again, Nachi. I love talking to
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, and good night, guys. Bye bye.
Night. Bye
Thank you
bye.
guys. Bye